say if you dream hard enough, the universe delivers. Well, in my case, it delivered an empty room and an aquarium store, access to all the material I could ever need to build cool little ecosystems, and most importantly, the opportunity to go op shopping with someone else's money. Today, I'm going to be showing you how I turned this completely dusty, unused room into a fully functioning content studio. Filled with trinkets, knickknacks and other questionable design choices, I was armed with a $1,000 budget, an unspeakable love for old furniture, and the kind of passion for other people's junk that borders on spiritual. If you've ever dreamed of having your own studio to build aquascapes inside Australia's biggest aquarium store, then this video is for you, so let's begin. Now this room needed some love. It needed a fresh coat of paint, the holes filled up, and a little bit less of the creepy abandoned storage vibes. So I patched the walls, waited for them to dry, and then sanded the walls smooth. But it was a 30-degree day. I was sweating and going red, which as a redhead in Australia is just my normal Tuesday. Once the dust settled and we grabbed supplies from our local church, the walls were ready for a paint. But I didn't film myself painting the walls or restoring the furniture. I kind of forgot I was making a video and entered a sort of feral DIY state. So here's some stock footage of someone else being productive. Just imagine it's me, but sweatier. For the back wall, I went with a dark color, mainly because I knew that I'd be adding a lot of junk and it needed somewhere to hide. And for the furniture, well, that came from Steve. Apparently he keeps cursed looking sideboards and tables that are too long to be useful out the back of his house, like they're a bunch of lawn chairs. And naturally, I took them both. I sanded the top of the sideboard but left parts of the red paint to lean into its weathered look, then sealed it with a clear varnish. The table needed a fresh coat of black paint and varnish as well, but most importantly, I fixed the broken leg wheel in a very secure, long-lasting way. With the furniture in and the wall painted dark, things were starting to take shape, which meant it was time for the most important part of any studio build, acquiring a completely unnecessary amount of weird old stuff. I started optimistically at an antique store, which in Melbourne usually means overpriced hoarder dens run by people who simply found a way to monetize their attachment issues. But surprisingly, I found some good stuff, like these old fruit crates, and a singing bass, which I was heartbroken to realize doesn't actually work, but is still really cool. I scoured the local op shops on my quest to find anything that looks like it came from an old apothecary store. I temporarily fulfilled my old glass bottle addiction and found as many interesting trinkets along the way. I also replaced my normal doom scrolling for marketplace doom scrolling and found some absolutely stunning vintage aquarium books from the 1950s, which apart from the wear and tear were absolutely stunning. I'm obsessed with these books. Then I hit up the local trash and treasure market. And more importantly, I found a Nan, a junk soulmate, a keeper of trinkets, collector of the unnecessary. We bonded immediately over mutual appreciation for random key rings, little bottles, and objects that spark joy but serve no clear function. At a certain point, I realized all this junk needed somewhere to go, so I acquired some shelves in the most efficient way possible. I took some from the online orders team that use it up the back of the store. No one said anything yet, so I assume that maybe it's fine. And they seem to have found some replacements. Bailey, if you're watching, I'm not sorry. Then came the most romantic part of the whole build, arranging all the cool, useless stuff I've collected and make it look intentional. There's something deeply satisfying about placing objects that serve no purpose but look like they might. A CO2 splitter here, old science lab beakers here, and all the large and small jars I intend to make terrariums in. This part felt less like decorating and more like building a shrine to other people's forgotten stuff, which coincidentally is where I feel most at home. I even bought what I believe to be a spoon shrine board. Do people still collect spoons? No idea, but I didn't do the best job sanding it, and I did an even worse job recoating it. And I hung it up anyway, to hold my aquascaping tools, assuming they don't get stolen by the rest of the Nature Pets crew. Shasan, I know it was you. And weirdly, it's all kind of come together like it was meant to. There's lots of things I like about this studio. The sideboard has heaps of drawers that I can put all of my materials in, and I've got plenty of shelf space to start adding aquariums once I make them, and inevitably shuffle everything. The dark wall makes everything pop, and the table's huge, so I've got heaps of room to get creative. The whole setup feels kinda like home. A bit strange, a bit crowded, a bit full of things that probably don't belong together but somehow work. I've also got 3 different wall backgrounds I can use for filming shorts, so not every video will look the exact same. Are you just winging it at life? There's still some things I'm sort of figuring out though, like the wall. It's a bit plain and boring. But do I keep it or do I leave it? I'm not too sure. And the lighting's a little bit confusing. And because the shelves are really wide, I can't put this table perfectly square in the center of my shop, because otherwise I've got no room to walk through. So it's uneven. It's not perfect. It's a bit chaotic like myself, and that's okay. And honestly, it's kind of wild that I got to build this. It's not in my garage, it's not in my room, but inside an actual business. The fact that Steve let me do this inside his store raises one of two possibilities. Either he has immense faith in me, or he's just as unhinged. Either way, we're in too deep now to stop. So this is the beginning, a place to create terrariums, paludariums, aquariums, talk about fish keeping, plants, and aquarium design. It's a place to experiment, to learn, to lose tools constantly, and hopefully not break too many things, but mostly to create. And on a serious note, not everyone gets a chance to film fun videos and chase big ideas inside of an aquarium store, but somehow I do, and I'm genuinely grateful. If this has always been your dream too, well then you're welcome to live vicariously through me, and I'll try my best to do it justice. So if you're into that kind of thing, or what else this turns into, stick around. Because it's only up from here. Hopefully, most likely. Unless Bailey comes and steals his shelves back.